It's showtime at the Apollo.
Let's do it.
Yes, yes.
Let's get all crazy and shit.
Let's get Sandman Sims and Kiki Shepard
And nobody's joined us.
no, because they're afraid. We're only live 17 seconds, so you gotta give people the time to get their notifications.
Okay.
Plus, I didn't technically say that we were recording an episode until just now.
Yeah.
I just told
letting
people to
at
join us to get
everyone
weird.
know.
Yes.
Oh, there's Ricky.
What up, Captain? He's about to get real weird up in here.
Yes. By design.
Yes, it's not just random. We have created and curated the weirdness. Mm-hmm. Well, somebody did, and we just are going to exploit it. All right. Ready to do
A special.
private dancer show for the captain?
Sure.
All right. Well, then I'm going to give this to you a 5 in Shri. Mm-hmm. Who's your mama?
This week on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, we bring you a special artist exclusive episode featuring Dr. Doom, Black Elvis, Dr. Octagon, Fly Ricky the Wine Taster, Papa Large, Tashawn Dorset, Underwear Pissy, Lotion Man, and all other things Cool Keith. What else? Maybe a little chow mein. Let's listen.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
Now we're about to witness street now.
I want y'all to name of my name. 1, 2, 3.
And now, here's your host, Bill Winters, and Mr. Throwback himself, Shady Robinson.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 486. I'm excited.
I guess so. Taking out the meters.
I'm excited because episode 486 is our first ever artist exclusive special episode.
It is. Like I said, we were talking off air.
Plus, I'm geeked up on Death Wish's new vanilla coffee. So
we kind of unintentionally did one when DMX died. Like all of our articles were DMX focused, but we still had Woo News and we had other artists and everything. But
right
this week, you get introduced to Underwear Pissy for all I know.
that you almost had the first Bill breaks during the intro because Underwear Pissy.
Underwear Pissy's phone number is PP51 Doodoo. I don't know.
It should be. If it's not, it should be.
It should be, yes.
I'm going to write a letter.
He's 8'13" and green. No, that's Black Elvis.
So this is the very special first ever artist exclusive episode.
Yes. And it is a in the future episode for those who are joining us live. Everyone else, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Yes, this is episode 486, which should
think.
be
Math correctly.
I was going to say if we can count.
Yeah, that may be wrong,
but here's the thing: if we didn't count, it would just fit the motif of the artist that we're talking about
the
tonight.
Time travel, the space travel, the Lotion Man. I don't.
So, as you heard from the intro, everything about this show is for the one and only Cool Keith. We have no hip hop headlines per se, unless you want to call it that.
No.
They're going to be KKH this week. Cool Keith headlines.
Yeah. In the year 2525, if Cool Keith is still alive.
And as such, we will not have any woo news this week. We are going to go strictly Cool Keith.
Cool Keith news.
No, we will have a couple of records to talk about.
We will.
And I'm sure Bill Reed's lyrics, although I never know what they are to begin with, is probably going to be the worst Cool Keith lyrics ever written.
There's a chance.
Cool news. There you go, John. Good job. This is why
we may discuss the Cool Keith show, even though it's
Yes.
not in the headline. We may discuss the James Joyce or Cool Keith poll,
yes.
even though it's not listed. You never know what's going to come up, especially when you're discussing the Wizard Cool Keith.
Yes. So, shall we get going on this cool, ultra magnetically cool episode?
Odyssey, if we will.
Yes, there you go. Dr. Odyssey, is that another one? Is that a new one?
know.
He's got Dr. Doom and Dr. Octagon. We could throw
Is he a
Dr.
member of the
Odyssey in there.
Oddities? I don't know.
With Kurgan and Golga and
And other people that people don't remember.
Luna Vachon, the
Yes.
late great Luna Vachon, and the late great Golga, who was
Golga,
John
yeah.
Tenta.
Yep.
Yep. So, we better watch out. Cranky's gonna start saying, "Oh, it's the wrestling podcast again." No, let's get into some Cool Keithness. So, would you please be so kind to hit me up with a little bit of that double KH
I can
Cool
try.
Keith headlines?
This is Hip Hop Headlines brought to you by Mr.
I was about to say, Cool Keith is helping us through the videos this week. But
He
anyway,
is.
How about you get on it?
Because it's
That's
my
right.
toy. It is. Article number 1,
As it
The
were.
Wizard, Cool Keith.
Yes.
And this comes to us from rockthebells.com. Cool Keith, the wild and wondrous world of the wizard. Cool Keith, the legendary Bronx rapper, 30-plus year legacy of doing whatever the fuck he wants to do.
That is a very important signifier.
Qualifier.
Yeah, when it comes to Keith, like when he was with the Ultramagnetics, that was Keith. And then he decided after that, I don't want to do what people are telling me to do. I want to go be the Wizard Cool Keith. And he did. Like,
And still does to this day. Hello, Nipsey, joining
what up,
us.
Nipsey?
So, yes, he has been the focal point of the Ultramagnetic MCs.
He has.
After that, he crafted a host of alter egos, such as Dr. Octagon and Black Elvis,
Underwear pissy.
and Dr. Octagonacologist.
Yes.
He has an enviable list of collaborators from Prince Pool
Yes.
and Ice-T to the late, great MF Doom.
Yeah. What was the group he was in with Ice-T? Was it Analog Brothers, I think?
I think so, yes. He shows no signs of slowing down or stopping.
Which we will tell you about later.
From the first time we heard him on Critical Beatdown, the man born Keith Thornton has done his own thing about a million different ways.
Yeah, and my favorite thing, and I don't know if we're going to get to it in any of our multiple articles here because a lot of them were very long and I scanned them. Cool Keith will kill off his alter egos to present you with another one.
Right.
Like, there will be a song about him killing off the guy who you just bought an album from last year.
Right.
That guy's
Because-
dead. We're not doing it anymore.
because-
This is what we're doing now.
That's Cool Keith's way of saying, he gone.
Yeah.
He says, I just played a part like an actor, Keith explains. I tell people sometimes making music is like being an actor. You've got to play a part. One day you're the bodyguard, one day you're the professional. Me, in music, I just play different parts. People hire me for those different parts. It extended my career. If I was just stuck in one genre, they'd think I can't be flexible. Versatility is important
Yeah, it
to to Cool Keith. He is the Big Bang for hip hop's oddest MCs.
I'll go with that.
Keith has dropped music that runs the gamut from straightforward to unapologetically scatological and fucking bizarre.
He created an entire subgenre called pornocore. Because, look, nobody's done this. I'm going to go do it.
And I get to name it.
And other people are going to want to do it after me. So this is what it's going to be called.
And then he says a lot of guys, they can only make one style of music. They can only rap in one style. They can't be versatile. They got to be a lyrical maniac their whole life. They can't do a record about another subject other than what they've been doing. They got to be gangster all their life. They can't do a song with Chris Brown or something. They get stuck in one lane. Why? He had to invoke Chris Brown.
Because he can.
When you're known as one of rap's most gifted oddballs, you have to keep moving to ensure that no one forgets how broad your skill set is.
Yes,
With
that's
a
the
string-
scatological one, John. Shitcore.
Scat. And with a string of indie releases and side projects, Cool Keith has always kept it moving. He warns everybody against creative complacency, even when your fans come to expect certain things. It's a pro and a con to it, he says. That one trend can keep you stuck, and the fan base that you have, they automatically feel like that's the one trend that you have, that you do. I don't care if you rap 800 miles an hour or talk about a gun in every rhyme. That's going to be what your fan base feels that you do. When you get the chance to be different, they're going to say, oh, he fell off. Right now, I have license to do all kinds of records, all kinds of songs. They can't be like, oh, Keith switched up, because I've been doing this shit since day one.
And he has.
Whereas somebody else, they'll switch now and it'll look obvious. Anything with me, I've been doing it before to this day. I've been doing all kinds of records. All they can say is, yeah, that's Keith.
Yeah.
So,
And he is so many different Keiths.
and the best part is, and this is perfect, if I did a whole album about Santa Claus, they'd be like, well, that's Keith doing that.
Welcome, Dr. Tim, to the
He
Cool
says-
Keith Love Fest.
He says, the project ain't going to affect me lyrically. Me doing different things won't keep me from my lyrical content. If you name the top 5, top 10, top 40, or 50, I can still do some rap that's way out there on some level. The average regular rapper still ain't going to come out here talking about they're better than me. Keith's still going to come back to Keith and rap with the Bronx lyrics and put that work in still. I can still get in the studio and you still going to rip your papers up, he says. And that's pretty much fucking true, you know?
As I've said, he is Cool
Oh,
Keith is the lyrical genius that Kanye has portrayed himself to be.
We have t-shirts that say that.
We do.
Or paraphrase that thought,
Yes.
anyway.
Yeah, I didn't wear mine tonight. I've got my.
I'm shocked.
I was going to, but the problem is it's yellow,
And
the yellow
therefore,
with the green screen doesn't work as well.
he says his thoughts come in a flurry, a lot like his lyrics. He goes, my professionalism as a rapper will always remain, but me being distinctive and adjusting to people's projects, if I get on a record with Maroon 5 or some rock band, I'ma still do that, but that's not going to take the pure essence of rap out of me. I don't lose my original rap license.
No, he just he doesn't shed his rap ability to do something else. He morphs it into whatever it needs to be.
And he says, don't sleep on the fact that if he goes with these other people, it doesn't mean that he's still not real nice with his own style.
Yeah.
You won't take away, he goes, don't let the strange characters and the doo-doo jokes make you miss that.
And
You won't-
I'm agreeing with Dr. Tim here that a Cool Keith Christmas album
Oh,
would be the greatest Christmas album of all time.
and it would be the Christmas album we do every year from this
Would
point
be.
on.
I
We would just do it over
not
and over and
change
over.
it at all. I would just list it as the different personalities as the lead artist.
You won't take my original rap skills away from me, he declares. That's been there from day one in the Bronx. Critical beatdown, skills. You're not going to take that away from me just because I made an album with somebody else, just because me and Dolly Parton did an album or something. Now that I would listen to too.
And it would be good. I mean,
And I guarantee she would be down for that too, because Dolly Parton does not care, you know?
we should put it out. We should start a petition for a Dolly Parton and Cool Keith
I
collaborative
will
album.
sign it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Huh. Cranky
Janelle.
said Cool Keith and Dolly. You heard it here first. You would hear it here first, though. I would get it and I would play it immediately. I would call a special episode recording night the day it
Just so
dropped,
we
to
could
do
play it. We would have like a fresh flicks, but it would be like a fresh listen.
Yeah, it'd be a Cool Keith listening party.
So, as a teenager in the Bronx, Keith initially became known for breaking. He performed
As
at
a lot of artists did. You know,
Yeah.
breaking, tagging. They were something before they were an MC. Rappers are different. Rappers just started rapping, but MCs usually had another foothold in the culture beforehand.
He performed at the Roxy. His reputation as a dancer was solid before he ever picked up a pen or a microphone. Everybody knew me for dancing before I made records. I transitioned from dancing to actually writing. In a way, I was a rapper that was not as outgoing as far as rapping in somebody's face or battling somebody. I kept my rapping kind of secret until it was professional, until I got good. Some people come out whack, then they turn good, and you'll be like, oh, he evolved lyrically. Me? If I was ever whack, you didn't see it.
Yeah, I did all that at home before I let you
I
see what
just
I had.
stayed whack at home, he said. Now you get people coming out whack as fuck rapping. They don't care. They're like, I'm going to start out whack as fuck. Back then, I had sense to say, I can't rap. I can dance, but I can't rap.
Well,
But
will
I
do what
wanted to
can
rap.
do.
I wanted to rap as good as I can dance. Some people try to be good at two professions and suck at both. Jordan wanted to play baseball. They laughed at his ass.
Yeah, Dion wanted to play baseball. And he did.
And they didn't laugh at him.
No.
Bo Jackson wanted to play baseball, and they didn't laugh at him either. And they didn't run on him either.
And laugh at him because they're afraid he's going to break that bat over his leg and beat him with it.
Humor was a way to distinguish Keith as a kid. He had to learn how to be quick-witted to keep up with the lunchroom insults that could come fast and furious when you're an adolescent. No shit. Keith flourished, and that wisecracking persona would find its way into his music years later. I was a good snapper in school, he said. All the real snappers in the Bronx, we had the meanest jokes. I was good. I used to go around different projects and snap people. Even in the comedian world, a lot of the real comedians didn't make it. The real funny people. That's why in my songs and my lyrics, people say, you say some wild shit. I do say some wild shit. I put that in my raps.
But the great thing is, it doesn't matter how off the wall his lyrics are. He does them all with such confidence and authority.
He
that you're
owns his shit.
Yeah, so you have to believe in it because he believes in it so much.
So
Like, that shit is crazy. And like, no, the fuck it's not. It's what I'm doing. It's my art. Yeah, Keith's an artist. Sorry,
yeah. He split from the Ultramagnetic MCs in the mid-90s. He resurfaced in Los Angeles, working alongside Cutmaster Kurt and Dan the Automator on what would be his solo debut, the trippy classic, Dr. Octagonacologist,
Yep.
released under the first pseudonym of Dr. Octagon. From there, the discography would spin in all directions, from his own name or Black Elvis to projects with the reunited Ultra Mags and super producer Said G, to offshoots like Pimp to Eat with Ice-T, Pimp Rex, and Mark Moog as Analog Brothers, like you said. And so there you go. You had that one right down.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember when I found that one, I didn't know it existed, and like I was listening to Cool Keith one day, and I just started going through, like on Spotify where you can pull up their entire discography and just start clicking through things. And Analog Brothers came up. I'm like,
who the hell are
is
they?
that? That's not supposed to be there. This is Cool Keith that I'm looking at. No. Yeah, when you got Cool Keith and Ice-T together and they don't want to be Cool Keith and Ice-T,
Nope.
you get the Analog Brothers. Dr. Tim, you need to go buy that album.
He says Keith's approach has always been informed by that humor and his restlessness. His trademark is his unique wordplay, complete with pop culture references, toilet humor, sex jokes, and sci-fi tidbits. Wordplay is another result of that creative restlessness. Regardless, he's never been one for rhyming just for the sake of rhyming.
And a lot of his stuff doesn't rhyme.
A lot of cats might be real nice with metaphors, lyrical, dangerous with the pen, and saying all kinds of stuff. That's cool. Me, I do shock value. I might say something I might say something about your fucking ears. That's why a lot of people are probably like, I don't fuck with Keith. He say wild shit. Yes, he does. They very well could be sworn enemies of Bobby Digital, because you got digital and analog, and that'd be oil and water, man. He goes, I just say crazy shit. I say what people are scared to say. I might say a bitch got a forehead that's 19 feet long. That kind of thought, people don't fuck with me. I don't have to be serious and try to make astronomical rhymes just for the words. Your skill can be you say deadly shit like, yo, that Nickelback said that? That's wild. Yeah. He called that bitch cow face. I just get straight to the point. Yeah. You've had the best rappers and stuff, but it seems like they're more technical, but they don't say no shit to blow your head off. Where you'll be like, that shit is crazy what he said. I was that. He goes, we can get all technical. We can do all that. But he switches to a mocking battle rapper flow. Asiatic, operatic, emphatic, Socratic, compratic, ejatic, pedatic. That shit don't impress me really. He goes, that's just somebody talking. That's a
rhyming dictionary.
He goes, that shit got no substance. It makes me want to go lay down and eat a fucking ice cream cone. And then you got people that be like, ooh, you wasting words. That's a lot of words, Nickelback. Say something. Make me be like, oh shit, that shit blew my mind. Say something like, your ears turn to diarrhea.
Yeah. There's stuff that makes you... What did he say?
It's not about just taking 20 words and making them go together. You thinking that's the art? You make an Adirondack rhyme for 20,000 words? Adirondack, and we out of contract, and the red slacks and the lilacs and the X-lax. That shit is stupid, he says. That's just brothers putting a bunch of shit together. That shit ain't entertaining. It just makes me want to go and eat a bowl of cereal or something. So he went from ice cream cone to bowl of cereal. I had cereal before we came on, actually. But turn that shit off. I did not have a bowl of chode. You can't even play that shit in the car with a girl. You go to shows, and it's a sausage fest. Just a bunch of Nickelbacks bumping bellies. You got grown men into that shit. Dogs, you gonna grow out of that shit ever? He says. Lyricism for lyricism's sake doesn't move him, but Kool Keith is forever inspired. In 2019, he dropped 4 releases.
4. Okay. There's an article later on that is going to blow your brain pan on a number of albums. So if he dropped 4 albums in 2019, he's already dropped one this year with plans for more. The number of albums, not singles, not features, the number of albums in Kool Keith's catalog are insane.
He says in 2019, dropped 4. He dropped Saks Fifth Avenue and Space Gore-Tex in 2020. In 21, he collaborated with production team Triple Parked on Lo-Fi Keith's Salon and with Grant Shapiro on an EP called Donovan the Don. The wizard Kool Keith has a seemingly bottomless well of artistry. I just want your ears to start wiggling, he says with a grin. I like stuff that makes people be like, yo, I got to rewind that back. I think sometimes with my writing, people steal my visuals, even things like Adult Swim. I be thinking they steal shit from what I say. They make superheroes from shit I said. I don't go stealing from Marvel and shit like that. I make up my own stuff. If I say cobblestone man with a fax machine in his body, you'll see that shit on Adult Swim in 6 months. I see it
Lotion Man
all the time.
Yes, because Kool Keith rhymes in spirals like Joe Klecko, Miami Dolphin.
And if Joe Klecko was a Miami Dolphin, how much cottage cheese does it take?
Yes. If a chicken and a half lays an egg and a half in a day and a half, how many cherry pies does it take to shingle a doghouse? The legendary Kool Keith.
The answer is moist.
Yes. You can only get the answer from Fly Ricky the Wine Taster.
The answer is queef. Which I can say because my wife's not home. That is her absolutely
That's her
least
word.
favorite word in the world. Moist doesn't bother her. Queef kills her.
Well, that comes up a lot less in conversation, I would think.
My favorite...
Just a guess. I'm not there for the conversations, but
tying wrestling into Family Guy.
wow, the things that everybody wants to hear about on a hip hop show.
Remember, this is... And there's a hip-hop reference to it.
Okay.
Peter's sister is a professional wrestler.
Okay.
Calls herself Heavy Flow.
Fair.
Peter tries to take her on as a female professional wrestler named Maxie Patty.
But of course.
They're both beaten by Meg, who came out as Teen Laquifa.
Very nice.
So you get the hip hop,
Yeah.
you get the Cool Keith usage of the queef,
And you got Cranky giving you an idea for another podcast.
and then Eminem used the word queef in a rap one time. I'll
sure
kick
he
a
did.
bitch. I'll kick a bitch in the cunt until she queefs, and it sounds just like a whoopee cushion. There you go.
Very nice.
So I didn't write it. I just remember the lyric.
Yes.
I believe it was on Cold Wind Blows off of the Recovery album. But anyway, Keith talks about all this shit. He goes, I'd be light years ahead of all these dudes that make all of this shit.
And it's true.
So that is the basic introduction of one Keith Thornton, who happens to be incredibly cool.
Yes. And I'm sure there's going to be some crossover content in the next few
The
articles.
Guardian, yes, The Guardian talks about the oddball schmear at the heart of hip hop's bagel. So
That may be a new persona for Keith. Oddball Schmear.
nice.
It's his tag team partner.
I'm going. Yes, the wife is at college, so I have to find out when she's going to be done because we have all the cars here, so somebody has to pick her up. So Emily will probably go get her, unless she's getting out real late. So according to The Guardian, Cool Keith is apparently he has 58 alter egos, according to The Guardian. I don't know if they list them all.
Yeah, I can't find anywhere that has them all, and who knows how many more he has now since that's been printed.
Yeah, I mean, it's craziness. But yeah, it talks again about the fact that he started with Ultramagnetic MCs. These are cool Keith lyrics. I'm sending brains are bending like metal, crust to rust, corrode, and low stacks. Pick up the wax while you ask how you do it. Show me through it. Which is from Critical Beatdown. So that's Cool Keith.
Yeah, that's
Being-
how the majority of us were introduced to Cool Keith. Mm-hmm. Papa Large, big shot on the East Coast.
He goes, I was tired, was messing around with said G,
The G, yep.
just to make him laugh. I told this one reporter that I went crazy and I was sent to Bellevue. I
Yes.
told him I tried to eat my own hand and that they had to stop me.
Yeah, said this in an interview. Like a legitimate, not like hanging out with friends bullshit. No.
Yep.
In an actual interview, he said this.
Because he was bored.
Yeah.
He was bored with the interviewer. And everybody was like, I could see that being true because it's
Yes.
Keith. He goes, I said was holding his stomach because he was laughing so hard, so I thought the dude would know it was a fucking joke, but apparently not.
Now they printed it.
And then he invented Papa Large.
Big shot on the East Coast. Yep.
Yeah. Keith would then record solo sessions with Godfather Don in '92, but he didn't go solo until after the Four Horsemen, the third solo album from the
Yes.
Ultras, which had very little commercial success.
Yeah.
He worked with, as we said, Cutmaster Kurt on demos, which would become his first two solo-ish albums.
Please
Dr.
listen to my demo.
Octagonologist and Sex Style, which was under his own name.
Yes.
Not one to be idle in between the two releases. Keith also teamed up with Tim Dog for an album.
Fuck Compton.
as Ultra, not Ultramagnetic MCs,
No.
just as Ultra.
Now, if you remember, everybody remembers Tim Dog from Fuck Compton. That's
Yep.
When you say Tim Dog, that's what people think.
That's what everybody thinks.
Not me. I think this is a perfect pairing for me to look back now and see that they were together, knowing Cool Keith as fucking Cool Keith, and knowing that Tim Dog faked his own death. Mm-hmm. Remember we did that article early in the show.
We did.
So they're on the same thought platform.
Which sounds like something a Cool Keith alter ego would do.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So at the time,
I could
to
almost
him
picture
and Tim Dog together was strange. But
I
to
could
look
almost
back
picture
knowing what we know-
a Cool Keith record about some character faking his own death and rapping his way through shit, and then at the end finding out he's still alive, and then somebody fucking kills him.
Yeah. Well, and because
And I would
Tim
listen
Dog-
to it.
Tim Dog died in hospice care after
Yep.
faking his own death years earlier. Mm-hmm. So in the real timeline, that was a strange pairing. But in the Cool Keith timeline, where I'm sure he had gone to the future, realized that Tim Dog had faked his own death in the future, and then came back and said, I'm going to need to work with this guy, it makes more sense.
So, in case anybody isn't familiar with Dr. Octagonacologist, that record sold 200,000 copies, got picked up by Mo Wax and DreamWorks. It is, by all standards, a supremely strange album.
Yes.
Relating the adventure of the titular doctor, a nightmarish surgeon / gynecologist / half shark alligator, half man.
Yep.
From Jupiter, who performs rectal rebuilding surgery and
I don't know whether that's
relocates
into any of his specialties, but
and relocates saliva glands.
he does.
But if that sounds slightly childish, Keith's lyrics are phenomenal throughout. A surreal bad dream, attack of consciousness that sounds like you're basically going under the heaviest gas possible at the dentist office.
Yeah, so this album is essentially a Cool Keith fever dream brought to the rest of us to experience.
And then it says the opening lines of Blue Flowers, which is the album's second single and best known track, are eminently quotable examples of Dr. Octagon's deranged internal logic and unsettling half rhyme. Dr. Octagon, paramedic Fotis of the East, with priests from the Church of the Operating Room, with the strikes of force, scalpels since the Holocaust.
Yeah, let me see if I can hit you with a little taste here.
I'm sure you can. I think we did this record.
I believe we did, yes. Jump ahead some.
Dr. Octagon, paramedic fetus of the East, with priests from the Church of the Operating Room, with the strikes of force, scalpel since the Holocaust. I do indeed and greed, explore, meet the patients, back the rooms with the nurse with the voodoo curse, holding up office like.
And it's so weird because the production on that, Dan the Automator and Cutmaster Kurt, that string sample you hear is from a classic Bartok suite.
I'll believe
Which
it.
brings me back to my fucking music theory days
Yep.
36 years ago. And then DJ Qbert added some scratching in there just because why the fuck not, you know?
Yeah.
So he had that, and then rather than repeat himself, he ripped up the Octagon blueprint on Sex Style, an album that ditched the jazzy weirdness in favor of a heavy sexualized rap style that Keith called, as you stated before, pornocore.
Yes.
And a cover picture featuring Keith in pink pants.
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
to be
why not?
confused with the pink jacket and pink phone picture.
No,
This is
Cameron.
different. The album was brilliant in its own sleazy way. But the minimal beats and porn obsession caught many Dr. Octagon fans off guard, and it remains a very polarizing release. But that's because there's people who expect Dr. Octagon to be the same thing all the time, and Cool Keith has proven that that motherfucker is Sybil when it comes to rap, and he's got 147 personalities.
That is the coolest thing, though. When, we always talk about, like, oh, you're going to buy an AC/DC album, you're getting AC/DC. You know, there is no variation as to the sound, and if you like them, you're going to like all of their stuff. Keith, you have no clue what the fuck is going to come on the album when you get it. You don't know who he is. You don't know what his delivery is going to be. You don't know what his topic is going to be. It is 100% surprise every time you buy an album.
So after Sex Style, there was this buzz. Keith got the shady manager who got him a record deal. In the fall of 97 or 98, he recorded Black Elvis, but the label put Keith in limbo because they didn't know what to do with Black Elvis.
And that's understandable. You know, I like Black Elvis, but Black Elvis is a fucking weirdo.
Keith's answer was to create Dr. Doom,
It's the 3 O's.
who first act was to kill off Dr. Octagon.
Yeah.
In style, the first track of Dr. Doom's 1999 album, First Come, First Serve, the aptly titled Who Killed Dr. Octagon?
Yes.
So Doom shoot Dr. Octagon after posing as a rabies patient.
Because Dr. Octagon now treats rabies patients too.
Everybody was like, when you going to do another Dr. Octagon record? Cutmaster Kurt explained. We said, why don't we just kill Dr. Octagon so that people can stop asking us about that? So we did Dr. Doom and killed Dr. Octagon.
That's crazy. That Keith has probably, at that point in his career, his most popular persona and most popular album and best-selling album probably next to the Ultramagnetics. And he says, no, I'm going to kill that guy. I don't want to do that anymore.
It's so weird. He said there was such a great frustration.
Dr. Tim has a point. If you can reassemble rectums, you can treat rabies. I got you. That's fair.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
Damn straight.
Cutmaster Kurt explained a great deal of frustration behind the Dr. Doom project, with the album seen as an attempt to get away from the alternative audience that Octagon had attracted. The album's extreme horrorcore lyricism, penetrate your Gap jeans with Black & Decker machines, alternate your Scullys, catch dead rats in saran wrap, put used diapers on your windshield wipers.
Them doodle pampers.
And that's from Call the Cops. So the brilliantly moody Leave Me Alone was the polar opposite of a hip-hop party jam, effectively begging everyone to go the fuck away and leave him in peace. Ignoring yo phone calls from broke labels who try to put out underground MCs trying to get me to rap on a whack-ass track for 1G.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Not only is Kool Keith selective with his own personas, who's going to do what and when, but where do they go and work on other people's stuff? He's not just going to give you Black Elvis on one of your shitty tracks because you want Black Elvis.
Right.
He's not doing that. You know, this is my. It's not even intellectual property at that point. This is a corner of my mind that you don't get to access. Only I get to give you what I want to give you.
Right. Columbia eventually put out Black Elvis Lost in Space in August of 1999, just 4 months after the release of First Come, First Served. Surprisingly, the album went on to become a minor chart hit, reaching number 74 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart, number 180 on the Billboard 200, which is still Keith's best solo chart performance.
Nice.
And of course, Keith wasn't happy.
No.
Berating Columbia executives on Test Press, a bonus track on his next album, Matthew. Rough House politically had to freeze my album. Regular Columbia don't know what the hell is going on with a shiesty distribution switch behind my back. Yeah, that didn't rhyme.
No, doesn't need to.
It's
And
Keith
why?
Main.
Yeah.
Chicken Chow Main.
Chow Mein. That's the explanation for everything.
The next decade was one of slow decline for Keith, and the fact that, he didn't lose his ability or anything, but he started recycling concepts, becoming predictable on the way. Dr. Octagon came back to life in 2006, although the return of Dr. Octagon was kind of a letdown. He was killed off again on Dr. Doom 2. An album that received a 3.7 out of 10 review from Pitchfork. But I don't think they knew what they were listening to. Ultramagnetic MCs returned in 2007 for an underwhelming reunion album. Keith has plowed on with his solo career, releasing 8 solo albums since the release of Dr. Doom 2, with collaborators including producers Ray West and L'Orange.
L'Orange, yes.
Despite his commercial decline, Keith may actually have made more sense in 2016 than he ever did in any other part of his career. It's not that other rappers have bent to his weirded out style and adopted his use of internal rhyme. Eminem is said to have been influenced by Keith in this way, referencing him on the Marshall Mathers LP2 and the song The Monster. But the growth of lyrical annotation sites such as Genius allows listeners to dissect his metaphor-heavy lyrics in a way that had been impossible for the majority of Keith's career.
Yes, and it makes very good Bill Reed's lyric segments.
We can, as a result, finally get our heads around baffling lyrical salvos like "My oxygen region's New York to California," a reference to an alligator's ability to dwell in water and on land, apparently.
Sure.
And "Like a green, red, blue reindeer, dead lying down with a fawn," which suggests the red, green, and blue pixels on the TV screen.
Yes, because that's exactly what I would have gotten out of that.
Yeah.
Does it represent that, or could it represent that?
It could. It could represent a lot of things. It could
and
represent a fucking light bright, you know?
Yeah, because I don't think anyone would have the, to quote the great Mick Foley, testicular fortitude to go into the mind of Kool Keith to try to figure out where these things come from.
And if you did, you probably wouldn't get out. It helps, too, that most fans have stopped waiting for another octagon ecologist or critical beatdown and instead just enjoy Kool Keith for what he is.
That's
A dazzling lyrical innovator, inspired creative schemer, gifted with one of the most compelling musical minds in hip-hop. "I put another extra 20 years on rap," said Keith in 2012. "Some people take what I do and run with it, but they can't go any further. I'll come back out and create something else." So he knows what his lane is. And if not, he makes his own. So the next piece, Keith in the future. Keith is the future.
Keith is the future, yes. And
Kool
Keith's from the future, too, I think.
Yes. Well, that's that whole time traveling thing. And this comes to us from The Observer, observer.com.
Mm-hmm.
Keith says that, basically a lot of this stuff is repeat, but then you get to down here, he says, Keith's eating seafood in the Bronx City Islands with Doom on Superhero, getting back to the porno core with Brooklyn MC Necro on Girl Grab. He goes, "Sometimes it's good to move forward, change, become a rapper that's true essence is writing skill, lyrical performance, instead of depending more on concept. Everybody came to the plate lyrically and vocally great. And it wasn't about seeing this album visuals first so much as feeling it audio first. It was an audio record. Sometimes records come out visual albums before their audio albums, This one was about hearing and listening and hearing combinations of wordplay, flow, and different beats that are a break from what's going on now. So it's definitely
a break. Are those break beats?
For anybody else, yes. For him, not so sure.
No, who knows?
And Keith was talking about some of his other records. He's like, the people on the record hold a prominent spot in the tradition. When you get atmosphere on a song, you get Doom, Necro, Mac Mall, Sadat X, Craig G, Sadat X, the wild cowboy with the wild style boy.
And Craig G, the man who calls Pumice Plumbus.
Yes. These people have great followings within their communities, people who have no replacement. People recognize the real. The rappers that are on the project are naturally on the project, and I ended up with a Washington Senator team. The man referenced the Washington Senators.
Yeah. But you don't know what was going through his mind when he was thinking that.
Commercial hip
about anything, and you'd have gone, I would never.
That's just Keith.
Yeah.
Commercial hip-hop has a cliche collaboration going. You're always going to see the most predictable collab on a song. It's not surprising. I knew they were going to make a record together. They put the stigma of the artists who work together in a commercial record. Keith has a term for those other rappers, and it appears early on the album. Cheesecake rappers. He goes, cheesecake is just a fucking commercial cake. That's all it is.
Okay.
And that's about the closest that he comes to throwing shade at anybody. He's not getting specific about it either. When he alludes to
Carrot
some
cake
other
is not a
rappers,
commercial cake. Cheesecake
he wanted,
is.
yes, he wanted featured on the album. He couldn't get for one reason or another. Keith sounds disappointed, but not angry. It's just one of the small ways the man subverts the diss track tropes that a rapper is expected to fall into. And when he mentions a rift in the audience who go to shows, he's simultaneously speaking to that same level of territorialism while suggesting it's not any good for innovation.
John has a question.
I would say the original ones, with Warren Spahn and Bob Feller. And
with Keith, though, he could be actually talking about senators that are in Washington.
he could be talking about
And you would have no idea.
He'd be talking about Orrin Hatch.
Yeah.
You got the backpackers, he says. You got the trap crowd. They totally don't get along with one another, said Keith. It's like people trying to get rid of gangs and tell gangs to break up, but that's gangs too. The trap gang. The backpackers don't like them, so that's still a territory thing. Oh, that's right. Bob Feller was in Cleveland. But Warren Spahn was an original Washington senator, I think.
I believe so.
Keith also suggests that this territory game has been going on for so goddamn long. It's one of the many tired tropes that keep many talented MCs mired in the past. A lot of old school cats who I bypassed years ago when I went into the future, again,
here we go.
Time travel. They still allow themselves to be handicapped and not work on new music. Some of them are still stuck in an era, like the people who walk up to you and still talk about Critical Beatdown. And I've done like 50 albums after that. Where you been?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Some
if we ever get lucky enough to get Keith on the show, I don't even know what we can talk to him about, because I would like to bring up everything from the beginning, back all the way back to Critical Beatdown, all the way up to currently to Serpent. But I don't know what he wants to talk about, because he's already lived all that. And as we know, he lives life in like bite-sized pieces and, just spits it out and keeps moving.
And always in the present.
Yeah, or the future. It would be very difficult.
Well, he travels to the future, which then becomes his present.
True.
That's some Inception shit right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to talk to him, but I would not want to have him on here to talk about, our era of 70s to 90s and have him, get irritated or bored because we're talking about his past. He seems like somebody you would just have to say, all right, Keith, what music did you put out in 20 years? 20 years from now, what was your big album?
20 years from now, what should I be looking for? Because you've already done it. I'm just waiting because I don't have the time travel capability.
20 years from now.
Yes. He says, and this was the best thing too. He goes, some people talking about that, I've done like 50 albums. He goes, some people are stuck with the old Buick Electra 225 and they don't want a new model. But whether they want a new model or not, he's giving it to them. And that remains his secret after 30 years in the game. His fascination for the cosmos, meaning that the ancestors of space jazz were searching for, while his attempts to subvert the profane with wordplay bring people back to Earth. And I'm like, I would have sworn Ron was a Washington senator, but I can't argue the facts, so I take that view too. No. And I do remember he did spend 1 year with the Mets. That I remember because I am a Mets fan. I remember all the stupid people who came through the Mets. So maybe that's who I was thinking of. The Big Train, Walter Johnson.
Sure.
That's probably who it is. Anyway, so let's see what else we have in regards to Cool Keith. And this comes to us from Stereo Gum.
Yes.
More of the doctor, we called this. Stereo Gum says, remembering his unlikely major label phase. Because he actually was on a major label for a little bit. And the major label he was on, I believe, was, I said it before. I think it was Columbia.
I thought he was on MCA for some reason.
I think so.
I could be wrong.
It could have been.
Who knows? He was on a major label, which may show up in the article as you go along.
So the writer of this was talking about his experience with Keith and Dr. Octagon. He's like, when Octagonicologists came out, he goes, I was in 11th grade. Like most of my friends, the main, if not sole outlets to hip hop were MTV, BET, and rap radio.
Yeah, it's true.
Being suburban white kids in Philadelphia, this was somehow considered inherently rebellious.
Or living in upstate New York and also being white kids.
And driving to the swim and tennis club.
But we did this,
He goes,
10 years earlier.
And then, these are the same kind of white kids that ended up going to raves and then University of Vermont. He goes, and it was there that I first heard Aphex Twin, the Chemical Brothers, and Dr. Octagon. No, this kind of music, as much as you wouldn't think it's super huge up in Milk Toast, Vermont, really is, because Vermont specifically is kind of its own thing, man. I have friends who live there, so yeah. He goes, Ultramag released the Four Horsemen in 1993. Keith started writing his Dr. Octagon material about that time because the Ultramags were being overshadowed by the Native Tongues and Public Enemy, and then later surpassed not only by gangster rap and pop rap, but then East Coast groups like Gangstar and EPMD. Even for someone who tried to maintain some kind of, budding streak by favoring West Coast and Southern rap, they still got overlooked by, Too Short and Ghetto Boys. Yeah.
Dr. Tim said Vermont has a lot of psychedelia, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, Cool Keith would fit in very well there.
He certainly does. He goes, I bring this up because to hear Keith tell it, this was exactly the sort of person who was listening to Dr. Octagon, and he had a problem with that. My 3 million new fans are white people, he groused on Keith Turbo from Black Elvis. And that pissed him off.
Yeah. And I think it's not because it was white people listening. It's because black people weren't listening as much, when he shifted gears that time. Not like and then Ms. Lauryn Hill, who would rather have her child starve than a white person buy her album in the 90s. I don't think Keith was like that. I think Keith leans more into his fans, but would prefer that he had as many black fans at the time than he did white boys in Vermont.
Yep, Black Elvis did a lot of shit, on that record, as far as my... Maxi Curls hinted at his disgust with being lumped into an alternative rap thing. He's like, my skin is black, BET. And yet Black Elvis does everything possible to establish itself as, well, an alternative to whatever was happening on the radio at the time. So he goes, I was a black rock star making black music, but people didn't see a black rock star. It was urban. But urban didn't know what it was because it was too new. I just naturally invaded into rock. All the magazines that covered rock and alternative covered me, but the urban magazines didn't understand it at all.
Well, because it was such a strange, again, shift of gears. I mean, it was completely off the wall for any other previous.
And nothing has ever sounded like it since. So,
no.
Although that may change when we get to our last article. So, yeah, it's damn near impossible to get through in one sitting, though. First come, first serve closes with Leave Me Alone, the most resident of the Cool Keith tracks, expressing disillusion with the music industry, if he even had any illusions to begin with. It's a consolidation of every aspect from Keith's overgrown weirdo phase. You get irresponsible race baiting. A white A&R runs the head of black music with a Japanese assistant. What does a Chinese kid know about the rap game?
Look, and like for those in this same, I want to say this same time period, I could be off by a few years, but people may remember this song. Give it a second. A little bit of the Prodigy. Jump ahead. This Prodigy
Same
songs
group
take
that brought
forever.
you. I'm a firestarter.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Tim, surprised you knew. That's Keith. The smack my bitch up line. Smack my bitch up. That's Cool Keith. On motherfucking The Prodigy. Yeah.
Yep.
Change my pitch up.
If you
Smack
can
my
record
bitch
with
up.
the
Yeah.
Prodigy, you can record with Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I mean the guy
So he goes-
is a musical chameleon at the least.
And then he says, he reveals in this, the indignities of being branded as an alternative rapper. Dumbass video treatments, having underground rappers insult him with offers to rap on whack jazz loops for $1,000. And most pointedly, I don't want to meet Insane Clown Posse and collaborate.
Alfredo
yet-
would love that.
But yet, in 2012, Cool Keith appeared at the gathering of the Juggalos.
Because look, I will tell you, back in the day, which I believe was a Wednesday, but back in the day, I used to go to the Vans Warped Tour, which was a great punk, a great day of punk music, is what it was. Then as the years
Which has
went on,
been completely watered down.
it's completely gone now. But yes, it did get
Yeah.
watered down and turned into pop punk and rock bands. But anyway, I watched the band Rancid perform. And I was standing. There were two stages next to each other. Like a band would play while another band was setting up. I watched Rancid perform on the right hand side, and I was waiting for Pennywise to close out the show on the right hand side. But in between the closing act of Pennywise and the tertiary act of
Tertiary
Rancid,
would be the, yes.
motherfucking Cool Keith performed on the next stage.
As the penultimate act.
Yes, it was insane. I was there with Josh Getz, and all of a sudden, I was like, "Did you see the name Cool Keith on the sign over there?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But I can't be that guy." I'm like, all right. And then he comes up on stage, and it's motherfucking
And it
Cool
was him.
Keith.
Yep.
Yeah. When he's getting ready, he's closing out. He's like, "Are you ready for the Pennywise?" I'm like, "What? What is going on?" But that was a Warped Tour moment for that year.
I am freaking the fuck out, man. And then they talk about the song I Don't Believe You, which repeats its title 58 times as the lies become increasingly inane. You say your pops is cool. You own a Dodge truck. You selling Knicks tickets. Extravagant Traveler, a funny enough ripoff of No Chorus. That's actually Cool Keith outside of his apartment in North Hollywood on the cover. But otherwise, they say Cool Keith raps in the sort of tone you only hear from people when they're dealing with their cable provider or find out they got a fucking parking ticket.
Yeah.
He's pissed about the state of the music industry, but this time he names names. Unfortunately, most of it is leveled at the universally accepted outcast, specifically Andre 3000, for presumably stealing his wigs, co-opting 3000, and trying to be Jamaican.
Yeah, because he is.
I swear.
3000.
I swear I've seen it theorized that Andre was clapping back at Keith with the line from Hey Ya that says, "What's cooler than being cool?"
Ice
But he
cold,
didn't
maybe?
spell it the same way. Yes.
Yeah, no,
As
to answer
if-
John's question real quick, was there a giant half pipe with skaters and BMXers? Yes, there was.
Not back then.
No, at Warped Tour there
Oh,
was.
yes.
And then as the years went on, those things went away, and freestyle motocross guys set up and were doing jumps and flips and stuff. So yes, those things were there at the Vans Warped Tour. Vans skateboards.
So, this guy says, this is all you need to know. The article author says something about Dr. Doom 2. He goes, which I'm pretty sure I reviewed, but I have no recollection of ever hearing.
That is a very, very cool.
That's a cool
thing to
Keith
say.
listening experience. Yeah.
It is.
So,
I was there,
and
but I
then,
don't remember being there.
yeah, I was there, but yes. Ewing Magnetic MCs is our next article.
I have
Art and research, culture, and hype at arch-usa.com.
Yes, I have 3 pair of Ewings. I have the EPMD strictly business ones. I have the EPMD unfinished business ones, and I have the Toast Face Grilla ones.
Nice.
I do not, however, have the Onyx Slam ones, which are black and red and white,
Right.
or these cool ass ultramagnetic Ewings.
Yes, there are Ultramagnetic MC Ewing sneakers
I will
that
put
I
them on the
believe
screen while
came
you
out.
talk about 'em.
I believe they came out in 22, didn't they?
They did, yeah, over the summer.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
they're
put them on the screen.
white,
Put them on the glass.
white, green, and yellow. And I see. I would wear those. I would wear those.
Yeah, they got the Ewing on the bottom. They got the UMs all the way over, like
Right.
then Ultra on the back, with of course the 33, because they're Ewings.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe these are still available. I don't know if they have them in all sizes,
Yeah.
but I do believe they are. You go ahead and talk. I'll see what I can find.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say. I wonder how much they're going for.
8.5, 9.5, 10, and 10.5 is.
And what's the
and they're going
current
for
price
$100.
range?
They came out at 100.
Only $100?
They came out at 150. They are currently $100 through.
Yeah,
Ewing.
look at that. Or you can pay with Shop Pay and pay 4 installments
So,
interest free of
$25.
$25. You know what? What size do they have available?
Up to 10.5.
You know what? If they got a 9.5, I might get me some.
It says they do.
I might
think
give
I
me
will buy
some. You never know.
You can get the Onyx ones while you're there.
Those Ultramagnetic MC Ewings are pretty fucking bad. So
Yeah. And they're Roosevelt colors.
that's why I like them. So I'm going to bookmark this page.
And you think you will buy some?
I may go back and do so. So that is now bookmarked.
Nice.
So if you're interested, you just go to shop.ewingathletics.com and you can get Ultramagnetic Cool Keith Ewing sneakers.
You can. Or a friend of the show, Fred Rostar and
Onyx.
Sticky Fingers. Onyx ones. But that's not what we're talking about this show. This is all
Right.
Keith.
Top 25
Yes.
is our next article. The best 25 Cool Keith albums.
So let's pause there.
Not 25 songs,
No.
25 Cool Keith albums.
And this is the best 25. So if I pull up Discogs, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Let me go to the page 2.
And this is from our friends at Hip Hop Golden Age, by the way.
Yes, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 47. Okay, I got 47 albums. That doesn't count EPs. That's albums. If you're looking at Cool Keith's discography,
Yeah.
it charts in at 113 different pages.
Jesus Christ.
Let me see if I can go to 500 items a page.
That's nuts.
Yeah, there are 113 Cool Keith credits. 'Cause they
Standalone
could be on
credits.
somebody else's single, whatever. So we're going to talk about the 25 best albums from the Cool Keith discography of over 40 albums.
And we're going to count backwards from number 25.
25.
Demolition Crash, which came out in 2014, which kind of has an Iron Man look on the cover. Very, very comic bookish.
Yes.
No, this is not a very good album. In fact, it's a mess. We included it here because it kind of symbolizes Cool Keith as an artist and his whole career.
Doesn't that one
It
have
is
like 20 songs on it?
104 minutes and 27 tracks deep.
27, yeah.
Demolition Crash is a long listen. Moments of brilliance, moments of whackness in equal measure. Plenty of dope beats and flashes of Cool Keith's best rhyming, but there's a lot of bad songs with sucky beats and terrible hooks. The album is a bit like his career. He has more than a dozen excellent albums on his name, but has released more than a dozen doo-doo.
PP51 doo-doo.
Number 24,
Number 24.
Kool Keith and Big Shay Eastwood, Magnetic Pimp Force Field.
Look, I would put that album cover on a T-shirt and wear it.
Well, that's what it says. It's on here because
does
it's not
it?
the best album, but it does have the best cover art.
It is really cool. Let me see if I can put it up on. Put it on.
And that's
glass.
all they say about it.
That's all you really need to say about it. Hold on, let me put this up.
It looks like something you'd see on Archer.
There you go.
Number 23,
23.
Kool Keith and Thetan, Space Gore-Tex.
Gore-Tex.
Space Gore-Tex is a strange beast, weird even by Kool Keith standards.
That's
His
a lot.
Yeah. So it's better than the projects he dropped in the prior year. He says his best since the excellent Moose Bumps in 2018. So it says he's always been his best when he works with one producer. And for Space Gore-Tex, he teamed up with
Gore-Tex.
the Nashville power violence duo Thetan.
Yes, the Power Violence duo.
So number 22,
22.
Kool Keith, Mr. Nogatko, a.k.a. Kool Keith, with Nogatko Road.
Yes, not Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. No.
Strong instrumentals by producer Israel and strong rhymes by Kool Keith result in a strong conceptual album with intriguing futuristic themes and outrageous storylines.
Yes, an alien autopsy going on the album cover.
Number 21,
21.
Kool Keith and 5471, Idea of a Masterpiece from 2009. Idea of a Masterpiece is one of the most slept on releases in Kool Keith's discography, arguably the most slept on. Not that strange.
I will agree, though, because this is one I was unfamiliar with before this week.
It's a collaboration with a Japanese indie rock band named 5471, was released exclusively initially in Japan only.
See, now I'm going to have to track that one down.
Quirky and sometimes abrasive musical backdrops provided by 5471 gel wonderfully with Kool Keith's rhymes. Keith was inspired by the band as he comes with a more energetic performance on Idea of a Masterpiece than on many other projects he dropped during this stage of his career.
Say, thinking up a master plan.
Look for this one if you missed out on it. Well, I believe you will.
Because I did, yes.
Number 20.
Number 20.
Kool Keith, Diesel Truckers,
Diesel Truckers.
featuring Cutmaster Kurt.
Of course.
Diesel Truckers may not be the best of the collaborations between the two, but it's a dope album nonetheless. Kurt's instrumentals on tracks like The Orchestrators, Taking It Back, Diesel Truckin', the legendary Can I Buy You a Drink, I Drop Money and Serve Him a Sentence, satisfy all those who crave fat, old-school flavored beats and cuts. And of course, Keith serves up pretty much all of his styles and crazy thought processes throughout the record.
That's what makes this album special. Is it's Keith, but he's everybody. He's like all the personalities have come to the surface somewhere on this album. So if you were to recommend an album by Kool Keith to help you understand Kool Keith,
This
Diesel
is the
Truckers
one
would
you
be a
would.
good one. It's not
Next-
his greatest work, but it does help you understand who Keith is.
Right. Number 19.
Number 19.
Keith Kool and L'Orange with Time Astonishing in 2015.
It sounds like something out of Rocky Horror.
L'Orange is a master of obscure sampling. His atmospheric boom bap beats with a unique cinematic vibe proved to be a great backdrop for Kool Keith's rhyming. Number 18.
Number 18.
Kool Keith, Dr. Doom 2. Actually, by Dr. Doom.
Yes.
So
This one didn't do as well as its predecessor.
right. It's not as good as Dr. Doom's First Come, First Serve, but together
Right.
with Diesel Truckers, easily one of Keith's better albums released around the turn of the millennium, because this came out in 2008.
Yes.
Kool Keith's rapping is better and more inspired here than it had been in a while. Most of his lyrics are as insane and bizarre as usual.
But that is the trademark of a Kool Keith record.
Number 17.
Number 17.
Ray West and Kool Keith, A Couple of Slices, released in
Go for a couple of
2015.
slices.
One of the many forgotten projects in his vast catalog, which is a shame because it's a strong project with excellent production from Ray West and a Kool Keith who sounds like he's having fun.
That is very important for me. I don't want to hear a Kool Keith record where, okay, and people are going to get all over me for this. I don't want to hear a Kool Keith record where he comes off sounding like Doom on a Czarface album, where he's labored and he seems like he's there because he needs to be there to get paid. I want the creativity of Kool Keith because he wants to give it to you and you can tell that he's enjoying doing it.
Right. Number 16.
Number 16.
Dr. Octagon. Moose Bumps, an exploration into modern day horripilation. I'm sorry.
Yes, horripilation.
2018, this came out.
Like you don't know what horripilation is. Come on.
Yeah, of course. I can't even spell it. What was missing on the second Dr. Octagon album, and one of the reasons why Dr. Octagon Ecologist is the classic that it is back on this one. The input of Dan the Automator and the cuts of DJ Qbert. So there's a lot to be enjoyed on this record. One of the highlights is the continuation of the Bear Witness series, a dope instrumental cut which serves as a nice reminder of what turntablism is all about. And every now and then you just need to be reminded of that.
You do. And John said some of these covers are pretty cool. You know, for anyone who's listening, go check out the show notes and you can pull up all these covers. But that's why I'm showing them during the live here, because they are such cool covers. And, you know, nobody has 25 Kool Keith albums to go, oh, yeah, I remember that cover. No, you don't.
It also says, also fun is Dell's guest appearance on 3030 Meets the Doc. Now, is that Dell the Funky Homo Sapien?
Yes, Deltron 3030, yeah.
Deltron 3030, yep. And that came into existence thanks to the magical work from Dan the Automator. Moose Bumps is exactly what fans of the first album could have wanted. And there you go. Number 15.
Number 15.
I thought this would be higher.
I did
Kool
too.
Keith, Black Elvis, Lost in Space.
Yep.
His
And
second
Time.
album in 1999. His most easily accessible album, and that may be the reason it misses a bit of the spark that raises some of his other albums to a higher level. But Black Elvis is a dope album anyway, as always filled with weird choruses, oddball lyrics, and a unique brand of humor.
Yes.
Number 14.
Number 14.
Ultramagnetic MCs Funk Your Head Up.
Yes. Yes.
Which,
Tim, I hope you're talking about Black Elvis, because
Yes.
that is an amazing record.
a step down from Critical Beatdown. There's still enough to enjoy on Funk Your Head Up. Negatives first.
Oh, no.
Critical Beatdown was way ahead of its time when it was released. This one
I
sounded
agree.
a bit dated and uninspired when it came out. It's a bit too long and the production is uneven, but good stuff.
But you're going to rank
Luckily,
it higher than
cool-
Black Elvis.
Luckily, Kool Keith is the album's main attraction. His humor, bizarreness, and lyrical hyperbole set him apart from most other MCs. Their first album was an ultimate classic, and they would come back strong with their third album.
It was an
Funk Your
ultra
Head
classic,
Up
if you will.
had its flaws, but it's also enjoyable in moments. And if it's a bit too high on this list, it's out of respect for the importance and the greatness of the Ultramagnetic MCs.
Fair.
Number 13,
Number 13.
Matthew in 2000.
Yes.
This one may be ranked too high here, he says, but we like this album even if you don't.
And I
Kool
like,
Keith-
I like this approach because that's kind of how we do this show. Mm-hmm. We like this. I don't care if you don't. You know?
Kool Keith is angry on Matthew, and he does little more than spitting venom about whack commercial rappers over a batch of kind of admittedly not so strong beats that he cooked up himself. But there is a certain charm to his anger here. And if you go in expecting no more than a bunch of rough around the edges instrumentals and a Kool Keith that is unfiltered best, There's enough here to make you smile.
Yeah. John said he likes the hat. I can see John wearing that hat.
Yep. Number 12.
Number 12.
Analog Brothers.
Here you
Pimp
go, Dr. Tim.
to Eat.
Just look at that album cover. That makes me want to have it.
Kool Keith and Ice-T joining forces for a full-length album, along with a trio you never heard of. Silver Synth, Mark Moog, and Rex Roland. Kool Keith and Ice-T dropped some crazy spaced-out pimp shit with Pimp to Eat, which has futuristic beats and weird lyrics.
Which
Pimp
has
to
been a
Eat
one and done on this show before.
will not be for everybody, but it's a must-have for Ice-T and Kool Keith fans at the very least. Yes, I do remember that. Number 11.
Number 11. Also featured on this show.
Masters of Illusion, presented by Cutmaster Kurt. So Cutmaster Kurt, basically the only beatmaker that's ever fully understood Kool Keith's style, and who was able to provide him with the most suitable framework for his lyrical expression on multiple projects. Besides Sex Style and First Come First Serve, Masters of Illusion is their best collaboration. So this is a great 100% hip-hop album, it says.
I concur.
Number 10.
Number 10.
The Cenobites.
Yes.
The Cenobites LP.
Kool Keith
With a-
and Godfather Don.
With a bare-ass woman and a can of Krylon.
That's kind of Kool Keith. His motif there, yeah.
The Cenobites LP is the eponymous debut by the Cenobites, composed of Kool Keith and Godfather Don, first released as an EP in 1995 via Fondulum Records. And then
Because why not?
expanded to an LP in 97. The incomparable Percy P makes a guest appearance, as well as the iconic Bobito Garcia.
Bobito from Stretch and Bobito fame.
It's
Cool Bob Love, if you will.
The project is as underground as it gets, but it is a Kool Keith classic nonetheless. Number 9.
Number 9.
Ultramagnetic MCs, The Four Horsemen.
I think
That's
we've
a
done
cha-
this as a record of the week, too.
I think we have. And that's a Chattanooga Lookouts
It is.
hat, I believe. The classic debut album, Critical Beatdown, Kool Keith, as part of Ultramagnetic MCs, dropped the somewhat disappointing sophomore album, Funk Your Head Up, in 92, and then they came back strong with this third album.
Coming back hard again. Sorry, that was a fact.
However, Said G and especially Kool Keith are in top form. Production is tight. Underrated as hell. This is a fantastic album.
I concur.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Cutmaster Kurt presents Kool Keith Sex Style Unreleased Archives. 10 years after Sex Style, this collection of leftover material is just about as good as the original album. Definitely much too good to keep unreleased, and much better than all the unreleased Kool Keith music over the years. Number 7.
Number 7.
Project Polaroid.
Yeah. This is one, okay, I will tell you, this is one I did not know existed.
Project Polaroid is a collaboration consisting of Kool Keith and Bay Area producer Tom C3. Project Polaroid dropped in 2006. Not a lot of people took notice. That's a shame because this album is fantastic.
Yeah,
Easily
I will
part of
check
the
this
better
one out.
half of Kool Keith's prodigious output. Tom C3's soundscapes are dope as hell, and lyrically, Kool Keith is in great form with lyrics that are reminiscent of his absolute masterpiece, Dr. Octagon Ecologist.
Yes.
Project Polaroid is a project everybody slept on, but is never too late to get up to speed on.
This is
And
true.
John, if you like that Chattanooga Lookouts hat, you need to go to the Hudson Valley Renegades site and check out some of their hats. That's our local team who I've done the anthem for. They have some really, really
What?
cool hats too. And for select games this year, they're changing their entire team name to the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts.
Yeah, I figured I was going to ask you what yours was because we are going to be the Norfolk Tides are going to be the Norfolk Lumpia to celebrate our Filipino population, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Nope, we are going to be the Hudson Valley Cider Donuts. And the logo is a cider donut holding
With
a thing
eyeballs.
of apple cider. And I'm thinking to myself, he's going to eat himself. Number
But
6
Kool
on.
Keith tried to eat his own fist.
Sounds like something you'd hear on Sex Style.
And Dr. Tim says, and the Norfolk Parajitos.
Oh, that's right. Kool Keith, Sex Style is number 6, 1997.
Number 6.
Kool Keith, with the help of Cutmaster Kurt, returns with Sex Style, awesomely ridiculous porno core record. Any other
Awesomely
rapper?
Ridiculous. I love that.
Any other rapper, with the possible exception of MF Doom, would sound really, really stupid on this. Only Kool Keith can get away with doing an album like this and have it come out on top.
Yeah. And have people know it.
Number 5,
Number 5.
Ultra with Big Time. Basically, it's a Kool Keith solo album with some help from Tim Dog.
With a little help from his friends.
Kool Keith's trademark weirdness and ass crack obsession is in full effect here with bizarre lyrics galore. The dark and sometimes crazy beats suit the lyrics perfectly. This is another madly underrated Kool Keith album.
I will agree with that.
Number 4,
Number 4.
Feature Magnetic, released in 2016. Quality control has never been a problem for Kool Keith. He's released something like 60 projects since his debut, and not all of these releases are must-haves. Because of the large number of releases over the years, people tend to dismiss all of them as trash. That's not correct. There's plenty of gems in his catalog.
Yes.
Feature Magnetic is one of those projects that is much better than most people seem to think. Like most releases, this one was dismissed out of hand upon its release just because it was yet another Kool Keith release. But the reality is that Feature Magnetic is really fucking good. Raw beats, mostly produced by Keith himself, and fun rhymes all the way through. He's in top form with his typical cadences, bizarre stream of consciousness. Another strength of this album is the features. There's a guest rapper on almost every track, and all of them gel really, really well. You can't go wrong with names like MF Doom, Godfather Don, Craig G, Bumpy Knuckles, Slug, Ed O.G., Sadat X, and Ras Kass. Of course, Feature Magnetic is Kool Keith at its finest and his best release of the 2010s.
Look, I picture Kool Keith putting a record together and people look at him going, "Are you crazy?" And him coming off like Bill Cosby buying Midol for his wife. Mm-hmm. He looks at you and goes, "I'm putting this record out and it's for me." You know,
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm putting this out because I want to put this out because I think it's cool.
Because it's for me. Number 3,
Number 3.
Dr. Doom.
Yes,
First come, first served. Talked a lot about this record.
we did.
If you only have 3 Kool Keith albums in your collection, First Come, First Served has to be one of them.
I concur.
Without a doubt, one of Kool Keith's very best albums. The album begins with Kool Keith's new alter ego, Dr. Doom, killing Dr. Octagon.
Yes.
He can be seen as representing the Octagon horror elements, while Black Elvis was handling sci-fi duties. With the always excellent Cutmaster Kurt on the boards, Kool Keith is in top form here. Flow and delivery are on point. Lyrics are wonderfully and characteristically fucking bizarre. Gotta love that No Limit parody cover, too.
Yeah, it's like all the No Limit albums had these weird album covers. Mm-hmm. Kool Keith with the giant golden cockroach or whatever it is there, and the gorilla in the background.
Yup.
Which
Holding up some kind of pulled pork sandwich with cockroaches on it.
I'm gonna assume that Capadonna took inspiration from the album cover.
That's funny. Number 2,
Number 2,
Critical Beatdown by Ultramagnetic MCs.
which I'm really surprised was not number 1.
A toss-up for number 1. This is a classic album that stood the test of time. Ultramagnetic MC's debut album, Critical Beatdown, is one of the earliest examples of underground hip-hop, as it was released at the time independent record label Next Plateau Records.
Which
Critical
song that was
Beatdown
on that?
turned out to be a hugely influential album. Production team The Bomb Squad has cited the album as a major influence on their production for It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, a record you may have heard of.
You may have even heard us talk about it. That's Keith in the black and red, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Critical Beatdown has stood the test of time. Kool Keith's unique style and off-the-wall lyrics, along with Said G's revolutionary production, make this one a one for the ages. Number one, the only one we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, the only one that could surpass Critical Beatdown as number one.
Dr. Octagon with Dr. Octagonacologist.
Yes.
Although it never says that anywhere on the album cover.
No.
Dr. Octagonacologist is Kool Keith's best album, and the catalog is deep and diverse as he is. It may be hard to choose, but Octagonacologist has to be considered his magnum opus.
I will concur.
It introduces the character of Dr. Octagon, a homicidal, hypersexual, extraterrestrial, time-traveling gynecologist and surgeon. His history is detailed throughout the album's songs, skits, and samples. The concept works, the album flows perfectly, and the production by Dan the Automator is absolutely phenomenal. Innovative, eerie, spaced out, the instrumentals provide the perfect backdrop for Kool Keith's trademark bizarre lyrics. Dr. Octagonacologist provided a new benchmark in pushing the limits of hip-hop has rarely been surpassed since its release. A masterwork that sounds as fresh today as it did in 1996, 27 years ago.
Yeah. You could put that record on today and tell somebody this just came out last week. Mm-hmm. And they will believe it because Keith has gone to the future and seen what it needed to be.
And came back and did it.
Yeah.
He did the damn thing.
Damn straight.
Last article of Kool Keith headlines.
Which
Because we've been
came
at this
in
now.
after the show was written.
Yes. Kool Keith has announced a Black Elvis sequel.
He has.
And literally came in today.
Yep.
The sequel to the 1999 album Black Elvis Lost in Space. He's reuniting with Mark Live, who produces alongside Keith, along with Raider Van, Jay Styles, and L'Orange.
L'Orange, which is a
Black Elvis. Black Elvis 2 also has features appearances from Dynamite, Agala, and Ice-T.
Yes.
The promo copy on Bandcamp, and this, by the way, came from Brooklyn Vegan. We got to make sure we mention that.
Of course.
Get ready for a mind-bending trip through the hip-hop cosmos with the one and only Kool Keith as Black Elvis is back with his long-awaited sequel. His information age rhymes are taken to a whole new level with a sound that's equal parts street and space. Black Elvis 2 will be out June 16th via Mellow Music Group, and you can get a brief taste of the weirdness to come in the 68-second Black Elvis 2 intro. So, John, here's an intro for you.
Let me hit this button here.
Yeah! It's the Black Elvis 2! Black Elvis 2! You know what we do? Never! 2! Black Elvis 2, matter of fact, you can do this. See me in the video, hear me on the stereo. Left to right, pour it out. Women throw their panties out. Gigantor Express, big like a robot. I walk cause I'm so hot. Back and forth on any tour. Watch it with my rain pour. Bang it like a headboard. You gon' see when I come, spit on all kinds of drums. Yeah, drums. Yeah, drums.
Crumbs.
Yeah, drums.
He says, I'll watch it with my Rancor.
Yeah, drums.
Because if anyone owns a Rancor, it's fucking Keith.
Well, he is a time traveler.
Well, yes. Black Elvis would own a Rancor.
So, as a time traveler, he might have went a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
He may have. To run into Danny Trejo as a Rancor
As
trainer.
a Rancor keeper, yes. So that is Black Elvis 2 coming out in June of this year. I'm excited for this.
I am as
Now-
excited for this as I am for Zombie Plane.
That's saying something.
It is.
Now, because of the lengthy amount of Kool Keith headlines, we are going to go right into our one and done, which
you want to
is
throw to a break. Look out.
No, let's roll right into it. We're going to take one break in this show, and that's after and that's after the record of the week. So the one and done came to us May 4th, 1999, running 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 22 seconds on Funky Ass Records. And it is the third solo album by Kool Keith, the first released under Dr. Doom. This is first come, first served. I have 20 tracks on this record.
22. But I got 2 remixes, so we're good.
Okay.
And the only reason I put him down as a one and done is because his second album does not do as well.
Right. Track number 1. And John, be happy. Who Killed Dr. Octagon, subtitled Intro.
Oh, yes.
Emergency, Dr. Octagon, please go to room 109. You got a patient with rabies waiting. Yeah. Yep. What's wrong, doctor?
Looks like you're gonna need a bad operation.
Oh, yeah? You that Dr. Octagon ass motherfucker, right? I tell you what. Take this motherfucking two of these and call me in the motherfucking morning. I'm Dr. Doom.
Track number 2, no chorus.
You ought to let me go and finish this motherfucking album. Dr. Doom. Name of this track is called I Don't Want the Motherfucking Chorus. Whatever the arrangements are, we gonna go through. Fuck all the laws.
Fuck all the laws.
All of them.
What the fuck was in your mind when you rapped on that track? Who possessed you to do that? Who programmed that shit sound whack? Unplug your mic, you motherfuckers rap under a bunch of fucking hype. Programmed by the company making something deep, vocals sound like
Gotta love this shit. Track number 3, Apartment 223.
Not
Do not
227.
ring the bell. There is nobody home. The spirits around will haunt you. Do not ring the bell. There is nobody home. Apartment 223.
I'm very hungry.
Apartment 223.
I'm very hungry.
Apartment
223.
Track number 4 is a skit called Mr. Rat, and it goes into track number 5, featuring Jackie Jasper, called Neighbors Next Door.
Here, little ratty ratty. Here, little ratty ratty. That's right. Come over here. Michael Jackson had one. I'm gonna name you John. Little rat. Try to chew on this bazooka. Here's some peanut butter. Little beautiful rat. Nobody understands you. You're so cute. Look at your gray face and your long tail. You're so pretty. Everybody always throwing things at you. Beautiful little rat.
Yo, Jackie. This Keith. It's the answer machine. I left the keys under the rug. There's some meat up in the closet. If you gonna throw it out tonight, I'm gonna run up to Tower Records and get a pizza. Alright? I'm gonna come back.
Because Tower Records has great pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Chewing alligator meat, loud cow steak sitting on old.
Only the one in Manhattan, though.
And of course, it has alligator meat.
Well, why wouldn't it?
It's just, why ask questions you already know the answer to? Track number 6, I Run Rap.
Yeah. Number 1 MC in the world, aka Dr. Doom. Straight out of solitary. I got the block locked down. Transfer me to Corcoran to Pelican Bay. You don't want to step in my cell. I eat your ass for real. Even veterans go out with tight pants and lipstick. Most rappers flex up, they vexed up, they acting hard. Attending Catholic school at mom's house, they soft as lard. They rolling packs, carrying yo-yos, imports and jacks. That kid you
Carrying yo-yos.
Track number 7, You Live at Home with Your Mom.
Yeah. New York City. Dr. Doom Pebblestone. I took the Batmobile out last night. Went to Tony Rome. And I seen exaggeration. Spotting fools front and fly. Girls act material. Spotting fools front and fly. Girls act material.
Yeah, they do.
Track number 8, featuring Motion Man, Housing Authority.
And you'll say
1 Adam 12 all
from the streets. This is what's going on.
Everybody get extreme from backup.
The revolution will not be televised.
Aqua, Gill Neck, Shark Bite, Beach Tower, Bay Area Conquistador, Negro Reservation, Sniper, Tree Trunk, Squirrel, Monkey Agility, Ultimate Fight Night, Pay-Per-View Ability, Angel Flight, Superhero Platform, Shoot, Stomp Down, Return, Smack, Sniffing, Afro, Hairy Chest Being, Shark and Scene, The Atlantic Ocean, Scared Emotion, Bulletproof Flip.
The Atlantic Ocean, Scared Emotion.
Okay. Track number 9 is a skit called Wild Kingdom, and it goes into number 10, Welfare Love.
Recently lured Luisha away from another group of gorillas in the area. She's the latest addition to his harem. Everyone is still a little uneasy about this newcomer. The other females won't accept Luisha until she presents the family with the crucial token of status. A baby.
Hey, baby. This the one, Dr. Doom. I still love you because you ain't plastic. Making them peanut butter sandwiches. Babies crying, running around with dirty diapers. The way you used to make the Kool-Aid with the weave all in your hair. Even some dropping down in my soup. I could excuse that.
It's Welfare Love, Section 8. It's Welfare Love, Section 8.
Okay.
Track number 11, Dr. Doom's in the Room.
Room should have had 3 of
For the
those.
motherfucking 2000s.
It should have.
In this mother. Straight from Houston, Texas. The motherfucking Dr. Doom. We rolling. I'm shutting rappers down like Giuliani shut down strip clubs. Turning your fake gangster hardcore stories into some Mickey Mouse Teletubby shit. Y'all niggas need to quit.
Mickey
Stop
Mouse
pulling your
Teletubby
silicone
shit.
tip. In the city is my
Teletubbies, yes.
Yes.
Track number 12, featuring Jackie Jasper, Call the Cops.
Cold.
Jack, you keep some rollers in your head with that plastic on your head, huh? Man. Hey, Keith, who did your Jerry curls, man? They look good. I seen y'all this morning on Cops, man. They had y'all pictures, all your profiles and everything. Y'all should stay low. Get out there. Gene called. He need $5. Ultimate focus behind your neck, kid. We flex with text on your lyrical index. Stop the masses, rotate the fastest. Afro Jerry curl world. Get ignited, re-invite.
That's some cool Keith lyricism right there.
Go genius that shit.
Track number 13, Brothers Feel Fly.
I feel spectacular, man. I feel up. I feel really up.
You high on shit.
No, I'm not high. I'm not high. No. Why should I be high?
Yo, I bought that album, man. It's whack, man. I'm telling you, I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm dead up. Serious. I don't feel it, man. The drums are too weak. I don't feel the snares. Could have used a different type of sample. Whack, man. Whack. Yeah. Yo, that kid is whack. His father's whack. His group is whack. That's word, black. I'm detrimental. I hop up on this instrumental. Smack your face with mix of pot of grease, full regrets. Burn you like Teddy Pendergrass. Tap you on that ass. I'm Big Jim. Shut your mouth.
Call me Jimmy
I love the Teddy Pendergrass reference, man.
Yeah.
Never go wrong with a Teddy Pendergrass reference. Track number 14, Sideline.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, money? It's Cool Keith. You ever go to some girls' houses and they act like they live in lavish? $2,000 Stars in extreme with space chandeliers. I mean rugs. I mean just everything all over the carpet. With updated 1975 music plan. I'm pulling all your programs. That's right, all you materialistic robots. Prepare. Yo, I seen your girl last night. Flat butt is whack, skinny hips, bullhead weave with the ashy lips. Wig in the backseat.
Ballhead weave with the ashy lips.
Track number 15. Bitch Gets No Love.
Yo, Jay, you bought this bitch's food? Yo, these bitches ain't paying for shit. They up here eating, getting ready to plan to go to somebody else's house after this. They using us, man. Fuck this. Bitch, you got a fat stomach, your braids look tacky, and you're fucking broke. Like Rakim said, I ain't no joke. You're posing as a high-class, stink-ass hood rat. Fuck behind any man's back. Bum bitch at the shark bar. Looking like an art park with a fucked-up park car. Got the nerve to have a diamond. I'm embarrassed you keep rhyming. Fuck you, Simple Simon.
Fuck you, Simple Simon. Track number 16 is a skit called Shopping List, and it goes into number 17, Body Bag.
5 cans of Decon road spray, 2 colors of shoe dye, white gloves, 4 cans of cow can, cat food, 1 chocolate Yoo-hoo, a can of Ajax, Clarks for the bone smells in the living room, cat litter and a bag of onion rings for the dog, and 2 boxes of Apple Jacks and Flintstone vitamins.
Yeah. Dr. Doom. Beware when I walk in your room. That's right. AKA Kool Keith. I'm washing pots and pans, fried gorillas with tortilla chips and clam dips.
Tortilla chips.
Yes, those are the ones that go with clam dips.
Track number 18, Mental Case.
It says it all.
Fuck Octagon. Don't ask me about that fucking shit. Fucking ask me about that fucking shit again. I ain't doing that type of shit. You motherfuckers think I'm crazy, right? I know, but I am. I have to show niggas, word G. I have to blow niggas. Pet 9 carbines pointing in your fucking faces. 38 Magnum, butcher knife, man. Watch me stab him. Jewish kid left there with ambulances, Bobby wheelchair. Dangerous action.
Ambulances,
yeah.
Track number 19, Leave Me Alone.
Yeah. To all my fans, the people who don't know what I've been going through to make my own. Now it's time to hurt your feelings as an obsessed music industry fan. Hey yo, my man, look at my hand, they look human, right? You think I'm a monster, ill circus clown, not a specimen, don't look at me funny when I come around. And I've been trying to figure me out for years, trying to reduplicate me, but they can't, so they hate me.
Last track on the record, number 20, Live, Bald-Headed Girl.
Is it live?
Is it live, 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 live? Is it live, 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 live? Is it live, 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 live? I heard your CD is whack, wasn't fucking impressed. Who's the nigga with the big mouth? I leave your ass out wrecked and bit off with a lion mouth. Your hype man sound like a bitch that switch. Y'all niggas need to be around with my dick itch. Yo, TNT, these niggas acting wild like they homo, but they trying to see me, fuck it. I'ma pull up in the 4.
They do need to be around when his dick itch.
Because somebody got to scratch that shit.
Damn sure.
That is First Come, First Served by Dr. Doom, one of the many alter egos of Kool Keith. That is your one and done for... God, what episode number are we on again? 486? 486.
It might be, yes.
Let's take a quick gander and see if there was any charting action on here. I don't believe there was. There was not. And there wasn't even any singles released off of this. So,
no.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? I take that back. The album peaked at number 48 on the Heat Seekers charts. That was it. So there you have it.
Yeah, doesn't strike me as somebody who releases singles.
Not really. But he does release a shit ton of albums under a shit ton of names.
Yeah, Keith would
This
release
one
a single,
was
he would release a triple.
This one was not on the 25 best list, but this is your record of the week for episode 486, the artist exclusive Cool Keith episode.
Yes, we think it's 486.
Hey, we'll figure it out.
We could be wrong.
The record of the week came to us February 24th of 2009. 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 41 seconds. It is on
41 seconds.
Junkadelic Records.
Because why not?
Junkadelic Music, I should say. This is
that Fartlement Junkadelic?
Cool Keith presents Tashawn Dorsett, the 10th studio album by Cool Keith, his debut release under Tashawn Dorsett. I have 17 regular tracks and 5 bonuses for a total of 22.
And 2.
Okay. So track number 1
is the important
is a 3-minute intro. John is a very happy man this week.
Yes, yes.
Tashawn Dorsett. DJ Jump. Tashawn Dorsett.
So it's Tashawn.
Yes. You're going to hear a whole lot of that. Tashawn Dorsett. He is introducing himself to you.
So track number 2, Super Supreme.
A little something. I gotta focus. The screen actor skill is overcrowded with nothing right now. Everybody's bluffing right now, wasting film and camera time. Trying to expose yourself to the masses with a camera rhyme. New York and Hollywood don't need you there. Better people than you coming from North, South Carolina. You just a shipmate, ready for me to eliminate, cancel your network. Feed the canaries, that's right, y'all.
Feed the canaries.
That's right, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Track number 3, Above Sea Level.
Yeah. Tashawn Dorsett. Come correct. You got Junkadelic in the house. New York City. Paris, France. I'm writing 2 millimeters above level, 3 centimeters above devil. You know the spot leaves your face. I deal with the freckle, the right checkle. Anytime on the table, promoters head to the back.
Track number 4, Flow Smooth.
1, 2. Tashawn Dorsett. Tashawn. Yeah, Dorsett. See, I'm Tashawn Dorsett. You guys are fake procs. Wearing thongs like Betty. Ain't no real bears in the crowd. But you do sleep in the teddy. Not needle picking. Your flow need to thicken. Get better residential. Otherwise, you'll be losing more games against me. You hear me? You fooling like a rookie.
Track number 5, Glamour Life.
Not the glamorous life.
No, that's Sheila E.
Cool C's still in jail.
Dorsett. You ever try to wonder through the rain and thunder? You ever try to wonder? My verses appear in your glamour like spiritual scriptures, like the city reminiscing over the same MCs constantly over and over. It'll take a guy like me in the dark room to destroy that picture, burn up the backdrop. Last year's records, you still spinning it.
Track number 6, La Cha Cha.
Girl, work that body, push it down. Girl, work that body, push it down. Type of guy to piss on your song. There's some hoes in this house. There's some pros in this house. Scream louder, your words are frail. Rap style frail, your weight is under scale. The best test you fail.
Track number 7, Magnetic Junkadelic, featuring Said G and D-Eazy.
Corner, Tayshawn. I'm moving the area for respect. Tayshawn Dorsett, draft pick by Seton Hall. Escape convict, out of Marquette. Sonic, I'm step. First man to fly to the moon on a private jet. Rocket ship express. Exhaust pipes burn the hair off your chest. Brim over my head, cocked to the side like El Ness. Chicago Chronicle move with El Best. With JC and Will, I'm bound to get ill.
He's bound to get ill.
Track number 8, The Real Beginner, because they spelled
Sure,
beginner
one
wrong.
ends, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tayshawn Dorsett again. It's all about Tayshawn.
That's why Tayshawn's got 2 R's in his
think
last
you
name.
tough. Like you got lyrics written from the state of prison. You looking like a warm-up guy with another man with a bra panties strapped to your ankles in the kitchen. A sweet guy like you never listen. Let me urinate on the drum. My pee cover your neck, defecation mode. Squatting on your left shoulder's my mission.
Defecation mode. Squatting on your left shoulder is my mission.
That's disgusting. Track number 9.
Tayshawn, man.
No, track number 9 is
Yeah.
Tayshawn.
It is.
Yeah. Tayshawn Dorsett. You know it. You don't want to mess with the pamper kid. Pissy, Huggy West. What up your car seat? Do what I do best. Dougie East. Call me the rugrat urinator, Dougie West. I could be your nightmare. Defecate with the diaper. Super baby with the infamil formula. Defecate on top of your chest. Woman warm up the bottle with titty melting.
That's a Cleveland steamer.
With titty milk. Track number 10, Booty Clap.
Isn't that from Goonies?
Maybe.
Is that Booty Twaps?
Yeah.
It's time to work it, baby.
It's time to work it.
It's time to work it, baby.
It's time. Booty clap, make it snap. Let's go around.
I had to wait till that part came up.
Track number 11, a skit entitled We Turn.
Yo, what's up? Tayshawn Dorsett. That's DJ John Gang. Junkadelic. We all in here.
All I can hear is, you don't know me like that.
Tayshawn Dorsett will return.
Tayshawn Dorsett will return. And he did.
He did. Track number 12, Black Lagoon.
I heard there's a creature from there.
Yeah, his name is Tayshawn Dorsett.
Apparently.
Tayshawn Dorsett.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Some say I used to use witchcraft. Reports up in the Bellevue, sources read. I practice voodoo. Tell me, assholes, what you assume is true. Investigate all myths till you turn blue. The haunted pages you turn to. The New York City vampire bats fly neighbors want to know what Dracula do. Bite the neck of the horse in the Bronx Zoo. Nights are creepy when I walk through. Or resume when I face the full moon. I howl with wolves.
Did he say nights are creamy?
I think he did, yes. Track number 13, featuring Champ. This is called New Shit.
Yeah, this is some old new shit that you ain't never
That's how
heard
Too
before.
Short spells bitch.
New shit.
This is some old new shit that you ain't never heard before.
New shit.
Yeah, this is some old new shit that you ain't never heard before. Yeah, this is some old new shit that you ain't never heard before.
Metaphysics, the new casting on the physics, the kinetic waveform got a retarded walking back will stay full potential against the mental, the parental, the conventional, the kingdom, prima Sonia, Tayshawn Dorsett. I'm ready for
very confetti. Them niggas are petty. They can't worry.
Track number 14, Indian.
Some new
Nope, that's not it. This is.
The grand
It's your
finale.
man Big D. We back in this motherfucker. Tayshawn Dorsett.
Grand now.
We in the motherfucking building.
That dude talk a lot, but rap from an indoor spot. DJs keep him hot, lyrically. Magazines give him some sort of identity. New rookies enter the game in the arena.
Track number 15 featuring DJs and Mark Live, Track Runner.
Hey, Sean. About to get on. It's easy to write it first with the condition. Hold you cats in front of the bowl. I stutter step with the local act. Who's doing all the pissing on the top head with the nitro gliss? The robotic mechanical.
The Nitro Gliss.
Track number 16, Industry.
Over the Atlantic. Over the Atlantic. Ocean. Miles and miles away. Miles and miles away. From sea to sea. From sea to sea. Out about in my travel. My travel. Now you wanna react. With the yellow suit, soft as a Power Ranger. I be the kid that piss in the words. Squat down and dropping turds. I'm bigger than them with a hanger.
Squat down and dropping turds.
Because you got to get to poop reference.
Well, of course.
Track number 17, Zap. No sign of Roger Troutman, though.
Not yet.
Roger coming, we style like that. The material's garbage is crap. Roger coming, we style like that. The material's garbage is crap. Roger coming, we style like that.
Roger coming with style like Zap.
Now, what do you have as the bonus tracks? Because I have 5, you have 2.
Yes, I have Magnetic Junkadelic and
The Junkadelic
Super
remix
Supreme.
featuring Ced G and D-Easy.
Yes.
And Super Supreme is the Larry Hutch remix.
That's what I
We'll
have,
go
yes.
with Magnetic Junkadelic, number
All
18.
Tayshawn. I'm moving the area for respect. Tayshawn Dorsett, draft pick by Seton Hall. Escape convict out of Marquette. Sonic, I'm Stet. First man to fly to the moon on a private jet. Rocket ship express. Exhaust pipes burn the hair off your chest. Brim over my head, cocked to the side like El Ness. Chicago.
Not Elliot, but El Ness.
And track number 19, the Larry Hutch remix of Super Supreme.
A little something.
Larry Hutch.
I gotta focus.
Sounds like Buffalo
The
Bill.
screen actor skill is overcrowded with nothing right now. Everybody's bluffing right now, wasting film and camera time. Trying to expose yourself to the masses with a camera rhyme. New York and Hollywood don't need you there.
New York and Hollywood don't need you there.
And that is it for Tayshawn Dorsett, your record of the week for episode 486. Cool Keith presents Tayshawn Dorsett is the technical title of
It
it.
is.
So not a single release, single off for this, and no charting action.
That's
so
crazy.
Yep. So that is it for pretty much the meat and potatoes of the Cool Keith episode. We will take our only break of this show. And when we come back, I will read some lyrics, which are probably going to be Cool Keith lyrics if I had to guess. And then we'll put a bow on this very special artist exclusive episode of Mr. Throwback Thursday. Come right back for Bill Reed's lyrics.
Yes, and as much as I would like to push through, I need to urinate. I'll be back.
Yes. NFL draft time. Yes, it's that night, isn't it? I also have the Rangers Devils going in the background. The Rangers are losing 1-0 in the first period. The Mets are tied 1-1 with the Nationals, trying not to get swept. Do I think the Wild can turn it around versus Dallas? Not if Jake Ottinger continues to play the way he is playing, and they need to get some breaks from the officials. I don't think they didn't earn the penalties they got. I think Marcus Foligno's a little bit of a loose cannon, but I think the Wild have the talent to do it. I think they have to find a way to solve Ottinger. If anybody can do it, Kaprizov's got to get his ass on track and pop in at least 2 or 3 in this next game. But otherwise, it's a tough road to hoe. I'm more shocked with the fact that the Panthers beat the Bruins last night, and I'm really super shocked about Seattle being 3-2 up on Colorado. Now, Cale Makar did play last night. I don't think that made all that much difference, to be honest with you. Seattle is a scrappy team, and they play heavy hockey. But yes, I think Minnesota's got to find a way to get into Ottinger's kitchen and rattle him. Because right now he's playing out of his fucking mind. He did this last year in the playoffs too, but they still lost in the first round. But Minnesota's got to get in his kitchen. You need big boys like Reeves and Foligno and who's that other guy in the third line? No, we're talking Minnesota Wild hockey. They got to get in that crease. They got to get in that blue paint. They got to get in his eyes and not let him see the puck. That's my thought on it. And Matt Dumba has to play a lot better than what he's been playing. Other than a cheap shot on Pavelski, he hasn't really done much. So that is my, just like your mom. That is my 2 cents on the Minnesota Dallas series. I just think it's funny that you have the old Minnesota North Stars playing the current Minnesota Wild and nobody's wearing, Minnesota
star?
North Stars stuff. Well, Dallas has a star, but
I've gone to Carolina for games and worn my Michael U. Whalers jersey.
Mm-hmm. Fuck Carolina. I hope the Islanders come back and make the comeback and beat Carolina.
Picked. I don't have money on them. I have like this free pick 'em.
Yeah.
And I have the Isles to win.
Rangers are down 1-0, by the way. I checked while you were on a break. 39 seconds into the game, they gave up one to Andres Palat.
Let me find a really...
That was offside.
What is a fitting drop for this show? Since we don't have a Keith one. Oh, I know what a good one would be to fit in with everything else.
You do it.
Yeah. Let me see. Is it this one? Let me see.
Hey.
No, that's not it.
Hey.
It's this one. Yes.
Why did I know it was going to be fucking Michelle A?
No, it's not.
It's not? Oh, that was the Michelle A phone call, wasn't it?
I have 3 of them that have a phone call in the beginning now.
Oh, okay. All right. So
I had to find one that fit
the craziness,
the topic of the show here as much as possible. I also need to get the motherfucking piano queued up. All right. Let's try this. Are you ready?
Sure.
Because I'm not. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to hit a drop, and then we're gonna try to get the video to work. So let's do that with a Shree. Who's your mama? Hello.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Benson, and you're listening to Jamie and Bill on Mr. Throwback Thursday. Where am I? A bathroom.
Mr. Throwback Thursday. That good shit for while you're taking a shit.
But it starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston! It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
I'm going to hit this button right here.
But it starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston! It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence. Take Tylenol for any headaches. Might offer any cramps.
Most people probably don't listen to the lyrics, but they should.
Welcome to Bill Reads Lyrics.
Welcome back, Mr. Throwback Thursday, the Cool Keith Artist exclusive episode. And it is indeed time for Bill Reads Lyrics. And if you guessed that it was going to be a Cool Keith lyric, you're probably right, but I'm not 100% sure until he sends it to me. So, nice Doug Benson, by the way.
Well, it kind of fit the feeling of the show.
Yeah, it kind of did. So, I don't know why. I'm 53 years old. I'll be 53 years old this year, and fart jokes are still funny to me. So, all right.
Thanks to Doug Benson for doing that for us, by the way.
Yes. Nice of him to do that. So let's do this.
Yes, I'll go over here to the private shizat, and I will go over here, and I'll go over here, and I will click on this.
Where am I going?
You're going
verse
to
one.
Verse 1. Actually, if you want to do the intro chorus, but only one time each, we can do that too. Before the verse.
I'll do intro chorus 1x, not 4x, and then I'll do verse 1.
Okay. Then
okay. So I'm gonna do the fourth one of the first line and the first one of the next one. How's that?
Yes. Okay.
Because it's four times each time, so that way they're back to back.
Gotcha.
That's some Cool Keith level shit, isn't it?
It is. Actually, you should do the third one and then the second one, but however you feel comfortable.
Yeah, you know what? I think I will. All
right. So with no type of ado.
In fact, I'm gonna do them backwards. I'm gonna do the second line first.
That is very cool, Keith. Sesame Street Grover Style, whether nearer or further, we'll cue the motherfucking piano.
Girl, grab my dick. Carry my dick to the front door. I'm a solicitor. Solicitator.
Yes.
Screw off the dick off my body. Put it next to the Bacardi in the refrigerator. I'm so rum. I can convince Heidi Klum to let me come in her anus. They spring training for the majors. Your woman filling out pregnant papers. Show you I don't care about the leather piss in the Mercedes. I'm teaching you how you cut my pubic hair with scissors like a lady. Barbasol, you could be lazy. You catching hay fever. Your bitch sucking balls upside down with white sneakers. My girlfriend with a butt plug up her ass, trying to be a boss with a wife beater. A strong woman with cock diesel arms pulling my penis. I watch you shit in your hybrid Prius. 6 in the waterbed, tossing salad with no Caesar. Vagina warped out of shape. I can't see much. I got your dime dropping low. Shitting out a hockey puck. Stuffed up her keister. Drinking Seagram. Vanilla off my penis. Who wanna eat some? Meet me in a 3. I can see her ass against my nose in the green room. black shorts all up in her tight, light-skinned anal. Don't let me get in a groove. Your brunette hair get pulled back to your ass crack. Blue? Well, pop up out you. Say it's cool.
That was cool with a C as opposed to
Yes.
Keith with a K.
Yes.
Getting out a hockey puck stuffed up her keister.
Because, you know, where else would it be, really? I mean, at this point. On that note, I got nothing to add. The Cool Keith Artist exclusive episode has reached, in the spirit of Cool Keith, its climax.
Yes.
In diapers. Diapers duct taped to your fanny.
Yeah. No, used diapers on your windshield wipers.
On your windshield wipers, that's right. So at this point, I think it's just time for us to take it home, wouldn't you
From
say?
Lotion Man to underwear.
To
pissy.
Fly Ricky the Underwear Pissy. Yes, which we never heard anything from Underwear Pissy tonight.
Not this episode we did, but you never know.
So I will read the outro as Underwear Pissy.
Please do.
Which I have no idea if it's any different. So
nope, it could sound exactly like you.
It probably does. The Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast is an official affiliate of the Death Wish Coffee Company. DeathWishCoffee.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Death Wish Coffee. You can go find them all over the place. If you have not done so already, you can use the code TBT and save 12% off your next order.
And if you did already, try to use Throwback. That might save you 10. I don't know.
Maybe. Don't forget to check out friends of the show, Def Rugs, DefRugs.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Def Rugs, handmade, high-quality, hip-hop themed rugs, brought to you by the recent birthday boy, the original Ruggy Fox. Ruggy Fresh, that's a cool Keithism. Ruggy Fresh, Marshall Fox, and Eric Sermon, the Green-Eyed Bandit. Def Rugs, go check them out. Our friend Heather Lent up in Schenectady, New York, is the proprietor of the Bittersweet Candy Company. She makes candy and chocolate that is handmade, small batch, different, and delicious. Go order at bittersweetcandy.com or check her out on Facebook. Use our code THROWBACK and save 10% off your order at the Bittersweet Candy Company.
Go and order all the candy. Order
all the candy. Melted Mike's, MLTDMICS.com, brought to us by Plumbus, according to Craig G.
Yes.
Hip-hop themed t-shirts, and you can save 10% off your order of said t-shirts by using the code MRThrowbackThursday at checkout at meltedmikes.com. Etsy.com/shop/geek-like-you, where the geek shall inherit the earth, where you can get pop culture and hip-hop themed items from the sick, twisted mind of Mr. Throwback Thursday himself and his sick, twisted wife, Mrs. Throwback Thursday. Go check out Etsy.com/shop/geek-like-you, where the geek shall inherit the earth. Don't forget the social media network. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention our artist of the month after the Cool Keith.
Yes, you
because
did.
our artist of the month is not Cool Keith. It's MC Hammer, but you knew that already. So if you've been listening to the show for the other parts of the month, you knew that already. But I was just so Cool Keithed out, man. So anyway, I got so excited, I forgot about it. Social media network, MrThrowbackThursday.com, the homepage for everything about this show. You can go check out all the show notes for everything tonight. Go check out all those different album covers from the 25 Cool Keith albums.
Best Cool
according
Keith albums.
According to that guy. Out of like 60. Yeah, whatever it is. So go check that out. You can go to our Twitter
Also,
pages.
Check out Cool Keith Show. Just go to YouTube and Google.
On YouTube, yes.
Yeah.
Google or do a search for the Cool Keith Show. I believe there's one episode, and you'll learn. Oh, there's two, and you'll learn what chicken chow mein is.
And you'll meet Lotion Man.
You will meet Lotion Man. Our Twitter, Jamie's at _the_MR_TBT. I am Bill _MR_TBT. That is also my Instagram handle for the show. Jamie is at Mr. Throwback Thursday on Instagram. Go follow both of those. Check out the Facebook page, Mr. Throwback Thursday, and home of the TBT Posse. And you can check us out every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern on Fresh Radio at itsfreshradio.com. We are on right after the All Request Thursday show, which... Tune in early. Get your requests into at Real Fresh Radio on Twitter, and DJB will get those in for you, unless you ask for the Booyah Tribe. Yes. Ask for a shit ton of Cool Keith.
Yes, that's
see what he does. Shout-outs time.
Yay.
Shout-outs this week to Gail Dunmeyer, Manny Baez, Sarah Henderson, John Henderson, Hugo Gonzalez, Sanket Patel, Cool Keith,
Yay.
Teresa Lynn Simple Luxuries at teresalynns.com.
Underwear Pissy.
Clay Arsenault, The Shrieking Warrior, Jennifer Buchanan, Fly Ricky the Wine Taster, Jacob O'Neill, Jason Heath,
Black Elvis,
Paulie Tibbert, Dr. Octagon, Chris Kinsley, Jessica Walker, Dr. Doom, Shane Hatley, Ricky Schnarr, who could have been Fly Ricky the Wine Taster if he tasted wine, Kenneth Elsfelder, Mr. Cranky Pants, Brian Hollenbeck, Robert Jeffroy, Kate Harvey, Tayshawn Dorsett, Mark Merriam, Catherine Liska, the Analog Brothers, and Ken Dwinell. Everybody mentioned except for all the Cool Keith aliases are mentioned because...
Or more.
You want to get your name mentioned every week, become a patron, or become an official alias of Cool Keith. Yes. Don't forget our friends, as always, check out Anthony Imran and Rug Boy over at Jock and Nerd Podcast, Talking Thai on her webpage, BrooklynThaiNYC.com, her show, What's the Word Podcast, DJ B, the hardest working turntablist in the world, on It'sFreshRadio.com. Get that Fresh Radio app for your phones as well. Yes. Wild One Radio at WildOneRadio.com. We are on 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wild One Radio, and then throughout the weekend. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff.
Oh, and Fake Football League has been posted, so everybody who's involved in Fake Football League last year, check your emails.
Yes.
Get your league fees paid.
Yes.
If you want out, let me know so I can find someone to replace you.
Because we will have some people who want to get in. So
we will, yes.
So maybe Cool Keith will get in. Maybe we'll have
Felicia her trophy before the season starts.
Yes, actually, I it's funny you said that because I have it sitting right here, and I just brought home fresh Sharpies so I could sign the back and everything. And then
Chief Rocker #1, Chief Rocker.
And you had sent me her address, but I can't find it. So when we're done here, you can shoot me her address again. Either that or I'll just search in my chat somewhere for Felicia and I'll find Felicia, it in there. Yes. So
Cranky doesn't want in.
Cranky doesn't want to play football. I'm going to try to come up with a Cool Keith football, Cool Keith alias football team name this year. So let's see how I do.
Let's see.
Take good care of yourselves, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this very special artist exclusive Cool Keith episode of Mr. Throwback Thursday. Until next time, we will have a normal episode.
Maybe.
And until then, everybody, take good care of yourselves. Wash your hands.
Wash your butt.
And take good care of each other. And just until next time, as I fix my teeth,
yes.
Keep it classic. And always remember,
new school stale, old school fresh.